Hello everybody, welcome to Total Game Network and CS Nation's review of Titanfall for the PC. Titanfall is developed by Respawn Entertainment and published by Electronic Arts. That's all you're going to get from a boring interview. Now, the game has been out a while, so I'm just going to talk candidly about it. I was going to do a review closer to the game's release, but then I realized I'm not going to bring anything new to the table that you're not going to get from someone else. So what I plan on doing was waiting to see if Titanfall has the kind of long haul style gameplay that will keep you hooked and coming back for more down the road. Now, yeah, this isn't long haul here. The game's been out now for maybe only about a month, I believe. Well, the Xbox 360 version is coming out this week, so, maybe this will tie in with that. Who knows? I don't know. But Titanfall, to me, does have the legs to keep it going as far as an arcade shooter goes. Now, if you want realism and a simulation in your game, stick with Battlefield. I'm joking, Battlefield's not a simulation game, and if you think it is, you really need to play more games. But you understand what I'm going for here. There's Battlefield, which is more kind of squad, almost, I'm cringing at saying this, tactical experience. And then there's the more arcade, Quake, and Unreal-style shooter that I think Call of Duty would fall under, and then most certainly Titanfall falls under, because it's exactly like... No, it's not exactly like Call of Duty, but it's pretty close in some of the game mechanics. Now, what do I like about Titanfall? I love the free roaming. Free running, rather, not free roaming. You can roam around wherever you want. It's not exactly free, though, but you do have free running, which is pretty cool. So you got that parkour-style stuff going on. The level progression's pretty good. Level design's not bad. There are some cases where the source engine is kind of like, and it kind of chokes on performance, even on a GTX 770 and an i5 2500. Yeah, it's not the best CPU, but it should be getting the job done, especially on a Source Engine game. Granted, it's heavily modified, but it's still Source Engine. It should be able to run on potato chips. I don't like the level design in the fact that there's no destruction. You got these giant titans roaming around, shooting missiles. You got people throwing C4, blowing it up, grenades. You got stuff falling down from the sky. Some maps even have creatures that are flying around, swooping down, scooping up grunts and this and that. But there's no environmental damage. And it's really kind of annoying. I can understand if they don't want that, because it would kind of break the flow and pathways of some of the parkour running. But give me something at least. Knock over a street lamp, an awning, anything like even a little insignificant. It's just, there's nothing, and that really bothered me in the preview, and it's bothering me now. Beyond that, the multiplayer, the classic multiplayer, I love it. You got the hard point, which is just like 3 points of capture. You got to hold them for your team for longer than the other team. I like that game mode. I didn't even like that. I like that in the Call of Duty series as well. You got your just team deathmatch, which, always enjoyable. There's Capture the Flag, there's Last Titan Standing. I don't really particularly care for those. I never really particularly cared for Capture the Flag outside of like Team Fortress and Team Fortress 2. But they're there. They're options. Whatever. Like I said, you got 15 maps. They're all pretty varied. The problem with that, again, though, is when you play the multiplayer, because it's using Microsoft's Azure cloud system, and there's no dedicated servers. You're just playing on Microsoft's cloud, essentially. So it's kind of like an Xbox Live cloud. I forget what they named it to or what they're calling it now, but it's Microsoft's old Azure cloud system. So you got hosting on there, you got the AI on there, supposedly. That kind of bugs me, too, because the AI is just dumb as bricks. They're there, you can shoot at them for points, but don't tell me that the AI is being controlled by the cloud when they're just the dumbest things I've ever seen in any game. And honestly, I don't see how putting those things in the cloud benefits PC gamers at all. Because PC gamers should have rigs that are more than capable of dealing with that. PC gamers should have rigs that are more than capable of dealing with a little bit of CPU overhead, having to deal with decompressing audio, instead of having 35 gigs of uncompressed audio sitting on my hard drive in addition to the rest of the game. Titanfall takes up a ton of space. I got Elder Scrolls Online on my machine, and it doesn't take up, I think it takes up less than half of the space Titanfall does. And Elder Scrolls Online is a giant MMO. Titanfall is an arcade-style shooter, first-person shooter. I don't understand that. I don't pretend to understand that. But that's the decision they went with. I don't think they're going to change it. It'd be nice if they did, but hey, whatever. Game runs pretty well, except for a few instances where there are hiccups here and there. Now, another big complaint I have about this, and I'm kind of all over the place with this review. I mean, like I said, you already know what this game's about, so I'm really just listing my likes and complaints about this game at this point. And I'll put up a review score at the end. I did promise I was going to do a review, but I wanted to do a review later on. Just to say that, yeah, this game's still enjoyable, even after all this time. But another big complaint I had, going back to that, the campaign in this game. Why? Why is that there? Completely unnecessary, and honestly, it feels to me like it's a bullet point. It's there just to be a bullet point on the back of the box. Seriously. What you do when you go to play campaign, at least this is my experience, I don't know if they've changed this since then, because I haven't gone back to the campaign. So they might have done some update behind the scenes that I'm unaware of, but when I played, the campaign experience was play campaign, you don't get to choose your side. Okay, whatever. You don't get to choose your side in the multiplayer either, but that's a bit more forgivable than the campaign, because there are certain things tied to the campaign, and we'll get to that in just a second here. So you don't get to choose your side. It took forever to find teammates and enemies to play against, and a much longer than the multiplayer. Multiplayer is near instant. Multiplayer is great for get in, get out, play for a little bit, like 15-20 minutes here and there if you want, and then you can go about your day. If you just need a quick fix, hey, multiplayer, go for it. It's great. Campaign, it's an investment of time. Because once you finally do find the teams, you gotta hope that the story part that is going to be played has not been played by you yet. So what your best bet is, invest a large chunk of time here to play the campaign straight through, which is what I did one night. I got on a team, we found some enemies, or, you know, an opposing team. Finally got into a match, played a few rounds, we're going good. All of a sudden, something happens to the lobby. I'm already like 4 maps in at this point. I think it's a 9-map campaign. So I'm almost halfway through. Suddenly, the lobby system kind of gets weirded out, and me and a couple other teammates get shifted to a different lobby that was 2 maps prior to where we just left off. So I had to replay those maps again. I don't have my choice of the maps. I couldn't change my team. Finally get through it. So I basically played 11 maps of the campaign. It's a 9-map campaign, just to beat it. And now, this wouldn't be a big thing, except they tied the Titan chassis to unlocks from beating the campaign. And all the campaign are the multiplayer maps with a bit of crappy story added. And a lot of the story is told in the middle of the game while things are going off and you can't really hear it or follow it, which is really dumb. But you get these Titan chassis unlocks. One side gets the light, quick model that can dart around the map pretty quickly. The other side gets the, you know, overbuilt, you know, beefy Titans that not very mobile, but they can take a pounding. So you beat it once with one side, then you gotta go play the campaign it through again on the other side. And when I played it, you still didn't have the option of switching teams. So you gotta hope that when you click on that play campaign button, that they put you on the other team the next time you want to go through it. Otherwise, you gotta back out and try again. That's not very smart. That wasn't very smart. And I'm really hoping they've changed that since then. Now, I haven't recorded footage for this review yet. I will record it after I get done recording the audio, so maybe I'll see then, maybe put a little footnote in there. But that's just inexcusable, especially for a mode that really, honestly, shouldn't even be in the game. I did not enjoy it. Multiplayer, competitive, classic, great stuff. Love it. Mwah. Beautiful. Tell you one thing. I've harped on the Call of Duty franchise these past couple years for not being innovative. I loved Call of Duty 4. It might be one of my favorite all-time arcade shooters. Sorry Quake, sorry Unreal, sorry Team Fortress Classic. Call of Duty 4, great stuff. Loved it. Then as the years went on, they didn't innovate, and it got more and more stale. There's only so many times you can play the same game where it's just, year after year, not really enjoying it that much without innovation. Titanfall comes out, still has that Call of Duty taste to it, that feel. Something in the back of your mind's like, hey, this is kind of Call of Duty, but I know it's not. I get the same sort of fun from this game that I got from Call of Duty 4. Maybe not as much, but it's pretty high up there as far as an arcade-style shooter goes. Call of Duty can just go back to the drawing board for a couple of years for all I care. That series has run its course. Titanfall, it brings a lot of new fun to the genre again. Fun is back in the arcade-style shooter thanks to Titanfall. So this has been my little ramble. This has been my sort of review. It's been a few weeks now since Titanfall originally came out for the Xbox One and the PC. Sorry, PS4 owners. Maybe next year with Titanfall 2, if EA decides to actually go that route this time. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be had. And it's definitely got some long legs on it. You probably will be enjoying it, especially with DLC maps coming out. I don't know what's all going to be included with that, but you got some more maps coming out. Gonna extend the life of it. So you should check it out. Here's my review scores for, whatever they're worth at this point. So with that said, this has been Zips for Total Gaming Network and CS Nation, and we'll catch you next time.